What is it? Tom Harper's work order from Bianca's DSL line. It was dated December 18th, Sunday. Now, how many workers do you know that work on a Sunday?
Is this the original document?
Yes.
I have an idea. I am going to cut the work order into two parts, the date and the rest of the document. Then, I'm going to cut these two parts into smaller pieces and dissolve them using solvent. Then, I'm going to load them into the GCMS, this machine you see right here. What's neat about the GCMS is that it combines gas chromatography, the GC part, and mass spectrometry, the MS part. I will get the chemical formula of the ink used for the date portion and for the rest of the document from the GCMS results. Now, I'm going to load the mixture into the column. I use the injection port to load the mixture. The injection port will vaporize the injected mixture. Components with a lower boiling point will vaporize first. This vaporized mixture is then carried into the column by a carrier gas. The carrier gas can be helium, hydrogen, or nitrogen. The column itself contains two phases, the mobile phase and the stationary phase. The mobile phase is the carrier gas, and the stationary phase is usually a gel, silica, or alumina. The components elute off, with the lower boiling point components eluting off first, and the components with higher boiling points coming off later. This way, we have the components all separated. Then, we get the mass spectrometer, where the components will be separated by a mass-to-charge ratio. The mass spectrometer bombards the components with electrons to form cations. This happens in the ionizer part of the mass spectrometer. Then, an electric field will accelerate these ions, and another electric field will deflect these ions in a curve. Finally, we have a magnetic field which bends the ions through different ways. This will ensure the separation of the components by mass. Lighter ions will deflect more than heavier ions and will therefore elute off first. Finally, these ions will go into the detector. There's the detector. You can see them going. This way, we get the output, which is called a mass spectrum. The mass spectrum is a series of peaks, and the peaks give the mass of all the components. Looking at the results, I can obviously tell that the GCMS for the date portion of the work order is completely different than the results for the rest of the document, which means that Harper used different ink to sign in the date. This work order has been compromised.